Hey everybody, welcome. Glad to have you with us. Welcome to Celebration Bar Review. And for those of you that don't know me, my name is Jackson Mumey, and for the past 25 years or so, I've been preparing students to successfully pass their bar exams all around the country in every major jurisdiction. I want to welcome you to talk about something that I really love and I'm very excited about, which is paraliminal technology. Para what? Paranormal? Para headphones? Para what? What are you talking about, Jackson? Paraliminals. Interesting word that really has an extraordinary capability to it and something that I really love. I've used for years myself. I've recommended to students for years, and I think it's going to make a huge, huge difference. Now, I want to give you just a quick sense there. You should be able to see some different covers coming up of some of these paraliminals that we're going to be talking about in a moment. Yeah, there they are. Great. Okay. So there's all of these different particular audio techniques or audio recordings, and I guess a good place to start is just to tell you what a paraliminal actually is, which is an interesting thing. So there we go. Okay, paraliminal is really derived from two words. Para, which means it's a Greek word for beyond, and liminal, which is the Greek word for threshold, and it means beyond the threshold of conscious awareness. That's pretty cool. What happens is that we put together neuro-linguistic programming and whole brain technologies, and I say we, it's really learning strategies. My colleague and friend Paul Sheely has put this together and been doing this for years and years. If you're a photo reader, you're going to really want to hear what we've got to say today because this integrates so nicely with it. But if you know anything about neuro-linguistic programming, paraliminals are going to be something I think you'll understand. Now, one of the things I like about paraliminals is that they're short, they're focused on specific items, specific roadblocks or strategies or problems that you might be facing. They don't contain subliminal messages. There's no secret hidden message here. It's all very straightforward. What you're going to do is you'll download a message, an MP3, that runs typically about 20 minutes in length for each one of these topics, and they're on a variety of subjects. It's a variety of messages. You're going to use a set of headphones. Any set of headphones will work. What's going to happen is that in the heart of the program, there are going to be two voices. You're going to hear a voice in your left ear that's speaking to your right hemisphere of your brain, and in the right ear going to the left hemisphere of the brain. Now, these two voices are artfully woven together, I think is a nice way of putting it. You'll hear one voice speaking in one ear to one part of your brain, and a second voice speaking in your other ear to a different part of your brain. That's pretty cool. What we're trying to do here is to, in a sense, trick your conscious mind because it finds it difficult to process two brains speaking or two voices speaking simultaneously. So what your brain does is it shuts down, it puts you into this deeply relaxed, clear-headed state. It leaves your inner mind free to absorb the message at a deep level. So the voices that you hear gently guide your mind and you get the results that you want. Now, these paraliminals are really well done. They're well crafted. They use state-of-the-art digital recording equipment, and they give you a 3D sound. It allows music, voices, some nature sounds like running water to produce spatially in your mind in this very soothing, effective, pleasant way. Now, some of you have heard me talk and perhaps even use one of the products that we offer to our students called Holosync Audio Meditation. And you might say, is this different than Holosync? Actually, it's different, but it incorporates Holosync, which I really love. What happens here, Holosync is a audio technology that meditates your brain. It literally causes your brain to function at different brain waves on the left and right hemisphere, and your brain attempts to equalize those two. The Holosync audio tones are actually embedded in all of these paraliminal recordings, and that will increase your ability to benefit and learn from each session. So what it does is it creates the electrical brainwave pattern, the Holosync portion, of a desirable state. And this would be a state of like deep meditation or increased creativity, focus, concentration, accelerated learning ability, which is why I love Holosync. What Holosync does is create new neural pathways between the left and the right brain hemisphere. So it balances your brain, it improves emotional and mental health, it improves mental functioning and self-awareness, can even help to heal unresolved emotional problems. If you don't want to do a full meditation program, then you get the benefits of some of that by doing these paraliminals. Let me just finish this general introduction by telling you how you use it, because it's so simple that sometimes people think that it just can't be quite that easy. But it really is very straightforward. What you want to do is create a quiet time where you can focus inwardly. And I would say generally you want to set about a 20 to 30 minute period. I would get an environment that's relatively free from distractions. You could sit comfortably back like this, or you could recline. I like to lie down in bed. It's a great place to do it. Then you're going to be invited in the recording to set a purpose for listening, and that will be explained to you for each particular recording as to what that purpose will be, but it'll be your purpose. You literally give yourself a desired goal that you're working on. And then you listen with headphones. You don't want to play this in the background, and you absolutely do not want to listen while you're driving or operating heavy machinery. I do not need torts hypos here. A lot of people enjoy working through their unconscious brain during dream time, and you can do that as well. There is a particular track on most of these paraliminals that's called a sleep learning track. You can literally set your audio player to keep repeating that track overnight at a very low volume, and it will just simply keep repeating. And when you wake up during the night, it will be an indication that your mind has literally completed the process, so you can turn off the player at that time. And you can use that sleep learning feature as often as you like. Now, as I said, you need about 20 to 30 minutes for each paraliminal. You can listen to more than one. You should take typically about a 20-minute break in between. Well, how often do you have to listen to a paraliminal? Typically, you're going to want to listen to some of these quite frequently. Others you may only need to listen to once or twice and to get the full benefit of them, and that's great. In some cases, you'll notice a benefit right after your first listening session. For some other people and some other circumstances, it may take several days or weeks in sessions with paraliminals to see a difference. Some people will listen to a paraliminal when they want to shift a particular pattern or behavior, or they might want to change a belief, and we'll talk about that more in a moment. Others make it a point of listening to a paraliminal the night before an important activity, say the bar exam, or studying for the bar, or taking a practice test, or doing something specific. What I really want you to get out of this is the paraliminals are catalysts for change. They facilitate access to strengths that are already within you, and most of these changes are integrated, in my experience, within a period of 3 to 5 days. So it doesn't take very long. Continued listening can reinforce continued development. So I've got paraliminals I've been listening to for years. Every time I listen to them, I notice something new or different about them, or some difference in myself. That's really impressive. Now, if you're not getting the results you want after you've been listening to a particular paraliminal recording, you can change the time of day you listen, or whether you're sitting or reclining. These things make a difference. The room where you're listening, or even the furniture you sit or reclining on. Sometimes it's not a good idea to be lying in bed and falling asleep. Sometimes you want to be sitting up in your nice comfy chair. However, and this is important, it works just as effectively for most people, and certainly in my experience, it works just as well when I'm taking a nap or I'm asleep at night as it does if I'm awake and just listening to the recording. It also works if you're interrupted. So if you're listening and something happens, you just stop, deal with whatever's going, and then come back and resume the paraliminals. It's an easy way to function. Now, I mentioned earlier this idea of how do you clarify your purpose. And what we mean by clarifying the purpose is that you want to know what's the benefit that you desire from this particular recording. How is it going to help you? And so you're going to be invited to do that. And sometimes you're going to choose to write that purpose down. But you're going to want to state a goal in the positive and focus on a goal that's within your control. And write your goal in the present tense as if it's been realized, and make it a measurable goal when you've achieved it. Some obvious applications there to the bar exam. Now, with every one of the paraliminals, you're going to receive a PDF that you can print out, and I recommend that you do that. Here's an example of one for overcoming overwhelm, and it's a nice booklet that tells you all about what's going on with the paraliminal, how to listen, best ways to use it, how it works, setting yourself up for success, eliminating mental anguish, what the benefits are, all sorts of information that will help you use this particular paraliminal. So for every paraliminal, you're going to get a document like this that you can keep print. I keep a notebook of them, and I keep them with my journals so that I've got my purpose and the things that I've written down and that I'm working on. A few years ago, I started using Paraliminals, and I was really excited about them. And over the years, as I did a lot more with photo reading, I noticed that when students would talk to me, they would say, Jackson, I'm having problems with believing enough about my ability to pass the bar. I'm having problems with how I use my time. I seem to be wasting time and not going in the way that I need to go. Or I'm having trouble just relaxing. I'm really stressed out all the time, and so on and so forth. And I recognized that the things they were saying to me were the particular problems and areas that Paraliminals were designed to address. And so I started suggesting to people, try this Paraliminal. Go to Learning Strategies website, and it'll be a great tool for you to use. And students did that. Many students did it, and they had great success. And they came back and said, I love that. Are there more of those, or which one should I do? Because there's about 45 different Paraliminal titles that Learning Strategies makes available. And perhaps you're someone that's tried one or more of these over the years. Just recently, I had the opportunity to sit down with one of the executives at Learning Strategies, and we talked about the experience that we had with our bar students. And I said, I'd like to curate a group of maybe 15 or so Paraliminal recordings that would be ideal for bar takers. And the folks there were really excited about that. And they said, okay, that's a great idea. Let's play with that and see what we can come up with. And what we did, we came up with 16 recordings that I thought were really super for bar takers. And we put that together as a Paraliminal bar prep pack. But what I wanted to do for the next couple of minutes is just briefly describe the 16 Paraliminals that are in the pack. You get the package, you download all the Paraliminals, you got access to them, and we'll show you how to integrate them in what you're doing. So I'm going to go through them. The slides are still showing all the different titles there. I'm not going to be able to describe them as quickly as the slides are running. Just want you to see those are going, and let me tell you a little bit about the different titles that we've got. The first title is called Anxiety Free, and this is the opportunity to really gain freedom from fear. Bar takers are afraid a lot of the exam, of what it means, of what becoming an attorney might mean. There's a whole lot of fear that goes with this process of high-stakes testing. What this Paraliminal will do is to free you from the emotional bondage so that you can deal with the challenge. It'll reduce the uncomfortable feeling of fear, whether it was fear of flying or fear of taking a test. And the fear can be controlled, and so fear doesn't have to control you. I find it amazingly effective for reducing fear of almost anything. Like I say, fear of flying, fear of failure, fear of success, fear of rejection, whatever it might be. So that's the first one. The second Paraliminal is called Belief. This will strengthen belief in your abilities, and it'll help you achieve your desires. We all have these beliefs that either support or obstruct our day-to-day accomplishments, things about the bar exam in our case. If you believe you can't pass the bar, you won't be able to do it. But you can change that belief by listening to this recording. Whatever held you back in the past can be gone, and you literally can take away outdated beliefs about yourself and install new positive beliefs that create a lifetime of yes I can types of possibilities. So you're capable of writing better, you're capable of taking the MBE and getting a higher score, you're capable of doing photo reading, you're capable of passing the bar exam. And successful people strongly believe in their ability to perform. So this Paraliminal will help that belief challenge. The third Paraliminal is called Focus and Concentration. This is the ability to achieve and accomplish more in less time with what's called focal point thinking. You can get better tangible results in literally any area of your life within a day or two. You can simplify your life, you can double your productivity, you can achieve goals when it comes to your studies. You can direct your energies to accomplish tasks that pay you the greatest rewards for your efforts, so you're not wasting time when you study. Paul Sheely from Learning Strategies teamed up with Brian Tracy. You might have heard of him. He's probably one of the best known sales trainers and experts on entrepreneurship in the world. He knows how to change people's lives. And really, the purpose of this Paraliminal recording is to help you gain control of your time and gain control of your life. I find for bar students it's particularly helpful because it allows them to start to focus in on particular work rather than struggling in a vague, unspecified way. So focus and concentration, if that's a challenge for you, you're going to love that one. The next one This is a big one. It's called Get Around to It. It's designed to eliminate procrastination so that you can get things done. If you're putting things off, if you're putting off taking these Paraliminals, for example, are you frustrated by continually delaying your studies? Do you want to motivate yourself? I've said to many of you in many places that procrastination occurs because we don't set a high enough priority for that particular task. What this recording will help you do is to reevaluate and adjust your priorities so that you can get done what you have to do. It will literally create this sort of burning desire within you to get something done. There's 2 sessions in this recording. One is for general motivation, and the second is for a specific thing, like I've got to get that outline read, or I've got to write that essay, or whatever it might be. Really powerful, and I love it when students are using that. The next Paraliminal is called Letting Go. Some of you might be familiar with the Sedona method. Hale Dwoskin wrote a very successful book about the Sedona method. This is really about emotional freedom. It's a way to see the world as filled with new opportunities and possibilities and greater happiness by guiding you through a very simple, practical process from the Sedona method, which is called letting go, literally taking the things that are holding you and just letting go of them. Long before Frozen came out, by the way. And it releases the emotions and the energies that can derail good intentions. What we've discovered is that when you free yourself of these unwanted negative emotions, you can tap into powerful resources that come from within you, and it creates better studying, better results, really a powerful Paraliminal. The next one, I think it's going to be pretty obvious. It's Memory Supercharger. It improves your memory for facts, principles, details, and theories. You'll listen to this recording to develop your ability to concentrate on the material you read. You'll remember more of what you read, hear, and see. Now, if you are a photo reader, it is absolutely vital to use the Memory Supercharger. There it is on the screen. I recommend every night after photo reading for a while to go and use the Memory Supercharger last thing before you go to bed. You'll see that it encourages your photo reading. It enhances and improves it. So it's a terrific tool to use. But even if you're not doing photo reading, it's going to improve your ability to get more out of the reading that you do on the bar. The next Paraliminal is called Peak Performance. This is really a motivator to get to superior results. You want to be good at taking the bar. It leads to success, recognition, career success, the ability to move forward in your career, to avoid the hardships of not passing the bar. Those are all important things. For peak performances, whether it's the mundane, like getting up in the morning and studying, or getting out and getting your walk, or getting some exercise to make for better studying, that's what peak performance is going to do. It's going to begin with motivation. It's going to help you motivate and get you underway, get you going, and it's an inspiring set of recordings. Personal genius is the next. This is literally tapping into your true natural genius for learning. You've got power in your inner mind. There's a genius within. When you use your imagination and your intuition, remember I said those are the 2 skills in photo reading that are so important, you draw on your personal genius. So we recommend listening to this recording before you study, before you do photo reading, for example, in a day, before you write an essay answer, before you solve a problem, before you learn a new skill in the bar. You'll find that you're able to access your mind's literally profound capacity to learn. The next recording is called Power Thinking. It's focused on thinking clearer, smarter, and faster. Sounds pretty good for the bar exam. Habitual ways of thinking and feeling form foundations for the way that we act, that we express ourselves, that we relate to others, and the kinds of results that we achieve. But as we've been saying, and obviously built into all of this, is that the power of your mind is staggering. And the tools of perception, memory, focus, intuition, imagination, emotion, and reason, all of those things are all there for you and can help you literally create a magnificent life and a magnificent result in the bar exam. So what happens is that when you master those tools through power thinking, then the possibilities are really limitless. And power thinking is an absolute must in my mind for any bar taker. The next one is called Recover and Re-Energize. Studying for the bar is physically wearing and mentally wearing, and with this particular Paraliminal, it will help you bounce back quicker from any physical activity, whether you're riding a bike or you're lifting weights or you're doing a big project, or those are physical things, or just more mental strength, more mental agility, more resilience, more flexibility. So in all of those areas, it will help after a long study period when you're feeling it's a great one to listen to. It's also a great one if you're out walking or exercising or swimming or biking and you're just tired. I find the older I get, the more I use this one. The next Paraliminal is called Selfdiscipline. Who couldn't use a little more self-discipline? Whether you're supposed to floss your teeth every day, or you should be eating healthier the way that I've been suggesting, or you should exercise before you study, or just getting your studies done. All of those things really are made better when you've got self-discipline, and this Paraliminal will help you. What you're doing here is hardwiring your inner drive and determination so that you can take action and follow through on the things that you need to be doing with your bar studies. And it's going to help you achieve this consistency of your study, which I think is so important. You'll be accessing a source of inner power and a commitment to effectively accomplish tasks and goals in what I think are the more efficient or most efficient ways possible. Now, if you're like a lot of people, when you're studying for the bar, you have difficulty with sleeping and sleeping deeply and waking refreshed. And so there's a Paraliminal that we've selected for this group just for that purpose. And with this sleep deeply, wake refreshed, you're going to gain rest, healing, creativity, and even energy. There's a lot of stress in your life right now, and you probably don't get enough sound restorative sleep. But this Paraliminal will help you fall asleep easily. It'll help you sleep soundly and reconnect with a lot of balance and well-being, and awake refreshed and energized and ready for each new day. Definitely better than buying a new pillow or mattress, a lot cheaper. There are 2 sessions in this recording. One called Sleep Deeply will help you easily and pleasantly fall asleep. I love it. I use it a lot. And it will help you program your mind and body to benefit from this deep healing sleep. The other title, Wake Refresh, that's part of this recording, helps you awake gently and purposefully so that you remain reconnected to your internal resources that you accessed while you're sleeping. And I love it. Sometimes there are mornings I just wake up a little bit early and I just plug that Wake Refreshed recording in for 20 minutes before I fully get up and out of bed, and it really makes a difference. Now, this next recording is only a 10-minute recording. It's probably the most useful and utilized one. It's called the 10-Minute Supercharger, and it really allows you to become mentally alert in just 10 minutes. You use this whenever you're feeling that lull or that lag in your day. If you're low energy, this is what you want to listen to. So you use it before an important study period. You certainly would use it before the bar exam or even at lunch time of the bar days themselves. You use it after you've been on a long airplane flight, whenever you feel yourself dragging. And what will happen is that you will see a marked improvement in energy and focus. It only takes 10 minutes. It's a great tool to use. There are a couple more and then we're almost done. The next is called Overcoming Overwhelm. And Overcoming Overwhelm is one that I added to the group because I find that bar students really do feel overwhelmed. There's so much stuff coming at you from the bar as well as everything else. It's hard to avoid being just sort of overwhelmed. But you have to get past that in order to move in with your studies and make progress. What happens is that we create these mental images of urgent priorities. It fixes in our mind, and it's an earworm. You can't get rid of it. It makes you feel locked up or anxious, and then we're tired, and that's a bad thing, a thing of the past, to say the least. So that is definitely one of the things that we want to make sure that we're handling. 2 more to go. This one is called Conscious Time. It's getting the most out of every minute. And I think when I ask students what's their greatest challenge in studying for the bar, it's time management. And most people feel like they don't have the right amount of time for everything that's important and meaningful. But maybe that's because we don't value our time quite the right way. And I would say the circumstances of your study life might say that you're really not valuing your time properly. So what this Paraliminal will do is to help you naturally and carefully choose how you spend your time, to allocate it prudently, precisely, sometimes investing your time toward a goal, but sometimes just giving yourself some time. taking a walk, listening to music, but always doing things intentionally, valuing your time. And then the very last one we call deep relaxation. I saved it for the last because when I ask students what's going on in their studies, time management and stress are the two things I hear over and over again. And so this last one is called deep relaxation. And this is literally entering the deepest state of relaxation that I can imagine. Somebody called it a vacation in a bottle, which is a nice way to put it. But when you listen to this paraliminal, your mind will calm, stress will diminish, fatigue will disappear, your body really recharges. And it's just a wonderful tool. It's 20 minutes, just like a massage, and just feeling your body melt as the systems recharge and re-energize. So it's a great tool to have. So that's what the package is, and it's pretty amazing. How does this all work? We'll give you all 16 of these recordings. You'll be able to use them as often as you want on any device you want. They are yours. They are permanently there. They will be digitally downloaded for you within the next business day. I love them. I heartily recommend them. I think that there are so many things that people could use these for that they're not. And really, if you're not getting that opportunity, I think that you're really missing out on the value of this. It's easy. It isn't going to take any extra time. You can do it 20 minutes before you get out of bed in the morning. You can do it 20 minutes before you go to bed at night. You could do it sitting in your office for 10 minutes with the supercharger. But what happens is that you literally start picking the particular topic that you're feeling a moment, an issue with, a discomfort with. And when you do that, the great thing is that it's just intuitively, hey, I've got this thing happening and I want to resolve it. And it gets right to the heart of it, deals with it. You don't have to do anything. You state your intention. That's really about it. And then it goes, and you can use them over and over again. Yeah, I'm just telling you, if you want to make a difference in your studies, if you want a new result, you got to use new approaches. One of those approaches clearly is photo reading. But I think photo reading is dramatically enhanced by the use of these paraliminals, and I really encourage you to do that. Thanks for being with me today, and I really look forward to you trying these paraliminals and seeing how they can impact your life, and more importantly, from our standpoint, how they can impact your bar exam studies. I think you're going to really like them. So we'll talk to you soon, and look forward to seeing all of you on the pass list in the near future. Bye-bye.